why your digital transformation costs you a bunch of money, made everyone in your organization hate you, and still isn't producing anything. The most expensive assumption you can make is that digital transformation constitutes a new ERP system or an enterprise resource planning system, a large, expensive enterprise level system that touches everything in the organization. I see this happen especially with high growth organizations that are usually over 500 million and under 5 billion, that think because they're growing in complexity, they need an ERP system to be a grown-up, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. And then we start to hear things like big brand names like SAP or Oracle because they think that's what they need to do to be a legit organization. Nobody buys SAP or Oracle because they want to. They think they have to, right? To be this new grown-up corporate organization. It's the corporate thing to do to help sustain this growth. But that is where that huge mistake usually lies. And unfortunately, the software industry is designed to reinforce businesses to buy the most technology possible, not because it's best for them, but it makes the software company and the system integrator the most money. It's like if you walk into a doctor's office and they only get paid for surgery, you might have only needed physical therapy for your broken leg, but now all of a sudden you're getting surgery because that's how they're compensated. That's the exact same thing with the software or big tech model. Software companies sell software. System integrators sell hours, billable hours, especially the big ones like Deloitte, Accenture, PwC, McKinsey, and they sell software. See the conflict of interest there. They do not make money, right, when you buy a smaller solution, like not an ERP system, that's the most gigantic system you can buy, or your project is shorter and on timeline. They can't bill you more hours and sell you more solutions. They do make more money when scope expands because there's issues, when we need to add more modules, or when the timeline goes long, they can bill more hours, especially, right, when you have an ERP system that touches every corner of the organization. So the real villain here isn't ERP systems. They're fine. Some are great systems. We implemented them all the time in many different industries. The real villain is the undefined clarity about what you're trying to achieve as an organization. As I've said 1,000 times, digital transformation means absolutely nothing. Zero, right? Until you define the constraint you're trying to solve. And certainly don't let the software vendor do that for you, because I can tell you right now that constraint is going to be humongous so that they can sell you a solution to fix it. You don't walk into the grocery store and be like, I need food. Okay, like what kind of food? Are you making something? Are you trying to like get something you can eat right now? Do you have food at home? Right? That vagueness is going to inherently make you spend more, especially if you're trying to get that food for other people and you didn't even ask them what they want. And the worst thing I see is when these, very innovative, amazing mid-market or, small enterprise businesses spend all of this money to be an SAP or an Oracle house because that's what they think. Their intentions are so good, right? They think that's what they need to do to be a better organization, when really they are locking themselves into an ecosystem that's not going to integrate with anything outside of that technology suite, while burning all of their budget on these expensive licenses that they can now never get out of. Not to mention the complexity of an Oracle or an SAP implementation. It is insanely complex and it's incredibly difficult. It's way overkill for an organization that size. You want an ERP system? You go buy yourself an ERP system, but make sure that you actually need one. And it's not just a conversation of we're trying to grow or we hate our legacy system. Okay, what do you hate about it? Is it because it's ugly? Well, welcome to corporate technology, my friend. Be a powerful buyer. Okay, don't go into these conversations not knowing what you already need, or most importantly, if you're a leader in the organization, what your people need.